It's a terrifically thrilling sport in its own right. There's a great spirit about it too, in the preparation of the boat leading up to the race and all the snags and difficulty one encounters.
Well, I find it very exciting. It's a great thrill to steer your own boat. And, well, I just enjoy it, that's all.
I suppose you could say because it's the equivalent of mountain climbing at sea level, or something like that. It's the achievement in the fight against nature, in setting up against odds. I suppose that's all you could call it.
Well, I think it's the challenge both of competition and also as a marine engineer, I run products which I've designed.
Well, I like it because I'm personally engaged in designing professionally, and I feel that this helps the development of design of fast boats.
Well, I think it's a sport which the middle-aged can take part in and enjoy it very much. It's a new sport, and I think it improves power boats enormously.
The Isle of Wight, better known for its sunshine holidays and the flapping sails of yachts, hums with powered activity as the Daily Express 1964 International Offshore Race draws closer. At Cowes, at Hamble, and at other points along the coast, craft are being prepared for the event which has become the classic of powerboat racing. Lady Aitken, last year's winner of the Ladies' Prize, is here with competition this year from Miss Hilary Lang. From America, Dick Bertram and Lucky Moppy, the fastest boat in this year's Via Reggio race. And Peter Twiss, once holder of the world's airspeed record. The preparations for powerboat racing all seem to be done during the few days before the off. That's Jessie Bunch, a diesel expert flown specially from the States. Windscreens are demanded by the rules. There's a brand new boat for Peter Twiss and Sir William Pigott Brown. Everywhere, everybody is working. Surf Rider has been fitted with twin controls, one each for the brothers Gardner. But now the boats are moving. There's Ron Watts Giovanna, a class winner in the Miami-Nassau race. The Solent roars with high-speed testing. Anglesey, designed by Uffa Fox. Bombadillo, the only hydrofoil, and entered in a separate class. One of the biggest boats is Sir Max Aiken's Vivacity, third overall and winner of the Diesel Prize in the Miami-Nassau race. Jackie S., Dr. Savundra's latest. Swordsman Brown. Dick Bertram's Lucky Moppy. Sea Plough, a diesel. Dick Bertram brought his family of 4 up from Via Reggio by inland waterway in Lucky Moppy, but this is a bit different. Jim Wynn's Coronet Windmill. Lady Aitken's Ultraviolet. And Scorpion, Mrs. Gardner's entry. Of course, there are last-minute dramas. Lucky Moppy has to have new engine components flown from the States. They're refitted just in time for scrutineering. Heatwave's crew are virtually living on the quayside to get her 4 Jaguar E-Type engines in the race. She's only been launched the day before. The other 4-jag boat, Tramontana, was having a new engine fitted, but she comes across from the mainland just in time. The 2 Italian entries had been held up by the French police, who wouldn't let them travel the roads by night. But they get here, and that's the boat of Sonny Levy, last year's winner. The other, Ultima there, her triple Maseratis, making her the most powerful boat in the race, owned and driven by Dr. Agnelli, the head of Fiat. Now it's fill-up time, and it's not a bad idea to watch the pennies on the top counter. On the day before, the scrutineering. The race, believe it or not, is for cruising boats. Sleeping accommodation for 4 and cooking facilities, yes, and lavatories must all be included. Here, Coronet Windmill, Jim Wynne designed and Danish built, is being checked for waterline length. There's Pacemaker. She wasn't to get further than Bournemouth. And Sonny Levy. The scrutineering is very thorough. Some of the competitors will have to work most of the pre-race night before their boats will pass. Here's Sir Max in Vivacity. The chief scrutineer, Tony Niddell, has his work cut out to get them all through in time. There are 60 items on every boat to check. Everybody is eager to get finished before the briefing and the party which follows. Then the naval escort vessels arrive, Brave Borderer and Brave Swordsman, with 3 Proteus jets apiece. We asked some of the competitors what sort of weather they wanted on the morrow.
Well, I suppose everybody says they want rough weather to give the impression they're very sort of tough and everything else. But I think certainly Blue Moppy won't be as fast as the lighter boats this year. And so I think it's correct to say that we would certainly hope that weather capabilities and so on would suit us being pretty rough and a good wind.
Well, we want a sort of medium rough, really, to try and sink some of these small boys, which is not perhaps very sporting, but it suits us better in the race.
We would like the weather to be a little rough.
Well, we'd like it rough. This boat is designed to run well in rough water, and we much prefer that.
Well, my boat's a heavy boat, so we need some rough weather. I'm not sure whether I personally want it rough, but the boat does.
Not too rough, not smooth, something in between.
Well, if it's rough, our chances are very good, obviously, because we're a big boat, a powerful boat. But if it's calm, which I think it will be, well then we won't do as well as the smaller boats.
But at the briefing, a pretty little wren tells them what they will get, and they'll just have to lump it. The answer is too smooth for most of them, but they hide their disappointment and raise the applause of chivalry when Uffa Fox presents flowers in thanks. Next morning, as the crowds assemble, it's dull, flat and chilly. 10 minutes to go. Soon the field of 45 will be streaking off along the Solent to Southsea. Past Sandown to Ventnor and a sharp left-hander, a hard to port to the Nab Tower. Back to Southsea and through the Solent again the other way. Past the Needles, round Bournemouth Bay to Swanage and the St Albans Head. On to Portland and across Lyme Bay. Turn to starboard at the Skerries Buoy and then hell for leather up the coast to Torquay and the finish between the yacht Drumbeat and the shore. Five to go. It's a rolling start with Brave Borderer setting the pace. 25,000 horsepower is surging east, but early the field sorts itself out, and clearly in the lead is Dick Bertram with Lucky Moppy. Its twin Daytonas pushing her along at 45 knots, 52 miles an hour. But pressing her close are Sonny Levy, the Gardeners, Surfrider and Jackie S. It's between Jackie S and Lucky Moppy now, and it's all set for the fastest ever race of the series, mainly because of the unbelievably calm conditions. Hounding along behind is the rest of the field, and there's a good few gallons being used below. That's Steve Macy's Spirit of Ecstasy, powered by Rolls-Royce diesels. At Southsea, Speranzella and Surfrider 66 are dicing it out for third and fourth places. Lucky Moppy is still ahead. Dick Bertram is one of the most experienced powerboat drivers in the world, and this is the only big international event he's never won. On the eastward leg, Dr. Savundra pushes past Lucky Moppy. Barring trouble, it's going to be one hell of a dice. Sonny Levy is still in fourth place and going well, with power in hand from his 800 bhp interceptors. Now Tramontana is running fifth. A broken oil pipe has left a disappointed Sonny far behind. Of course, the ownership of a 50-mile-an-hour boat presupposes a fairly sophisticated relationship with one's bank manager. But there are other classes to win, and the smaller boats are not left out when it comes to collecting prize money and silverware. It's a race for everybody. But at the moment, it belongs to Jackie S. Last year, Dr. Savundra had steering problems, sinking a spectator craft in the process, but he's obviously happy with his new boat. He's on the Sandown turn now. Savundra has every reason to be delighted, but not for long. At Ventnor he stops and Lucky Moppy is in the lead again. Listen to the doctor.
One of our thrust racers, which is the part between the gearbox and the propeller, collapsed. So he rigged up a little device by which seawater was squirted onto the defective part and kept it cold.
With Jackie S back in the race, anything can happen, but a lot of boats have passed. Claudia, too, is in third place. Surfrider, second. Lucky Moppy, first. Tramontana, fourth. Dick Bertram is first round the Nab Tower, but if some of the competitors are having trouble, the Castrol film unit aren't entirely without it either. However, the race and the film go on, and at Cowes, the second time, the crowd see Lucky Moppy just 30 seconds ahead of Surfrider. In third place, 2 minutes away, is Claudia II. Despite a lead of only 30 seconds, the Smooth Solent appears the ideal time to enjoy a drink and a cigarette. Just how nonchalant can you get with 800 horsepower churning you along at 50-odd miles an hour? The leaders thunder on past the big ships and spectator craft with about 130 miles to go. This is the smoothest ever race, and only the wake of the boats in front upsets the equilibrium. Brave Borderer is jetting along in company, and soon the Needles come into sight. Tramontana, one Jaguar out, is limping. Ultima Dea now only has 2 Maseratis left. Jim Wynne, 15, is dicing it for 10th place with Trident on the way to Bournemouth. At St Albans Head, the only choppy conditions are encountered since the nab. It's Lucky Moppy still with seconds in hand on her sister ship, the Gardner Brothers Surf Rider. A third from the same stable, Chasseur, is 20th. And the eventual winner of the Class 2 production prize, Paper Tiger, is going well. With Lord Lucan in his Migrant is George Abacassis, better known as a motor racing man. They're in 6th position, nearly 18 minutes behind the front markers. Portland now, and trouble ahead for both the leaders. Lucky Moppy's compass has failed. Bertram dare not risk crossing the open waters of Lyme Bay and finding the small Skerries buoy without its help. His only way is to keep close company with the boat behind. But aboard Surf Rider there is trouble too. Jimmy and Charles Gardner are 300 revs down on their starboard engine with a V-drive overheating. It could have meant a big lead for Bertram, but luck and a faulty compass are on the side of the British pair. And so the chase goes on. Trident and Coronet Windmill are still together at 8 and 9. Sir Max Aitken's Vivacity is leading the diesel boats in spite of carrying a crew of 5. Bertram is still just ahead of Surf Rider as they begin the coast run northwards to Torquay. With the Skerries safely rounded, Lucky Moppy is opened up again. The lead increases, but not by much. These are the minutes that matter. It's a hell for leather dash for home. There are so many pleasure craft at Torquay that it's hard to find drumbeat. Ah, there she is, there. It's all over bar the shouting. Now for the final burst. But Lucky Moppy's on the wrong side of drumbeat. She hasn't crossed the line. Bertram turns desperately to get back, but he can't do it in time, and Surf Rider crashes through his wake to take the winner's gun. In third place, Claudia II. A fine run by Dennis Miller, Jim Mayer and Don Arano. 2 minutes behind the winner. Jackie S. tries desperately to catch Lucinda for 4th place, but the gallant doctor can't make it, and Billy Shan Kidd crosses the line next. And so, the results are written. The winner's berth is ready, and in come its occupants, Jimmy and Charles Gardner with triumphant Surf Rider. Behind, the most disappointed man in Torquay today, the man who should have won and didn't. But there are no hard feelings, no grudges in this world of powerboat racing. Only triumph and disaster, success and disappointment. Jackie S. had proved her worth, catching up from a hopeless 10th to 5th place. But it was the Gardners' race. The prizes for the best all-round boat and fuel economy, £1,500 worth, went to Jim Wynne and Coronet Wynne Mill. To Lady Aitken, the ladies' prize for the 2nd year running. We asked Jimmy Gardner and Dick Bertram all about it.
We were very lucky in the end. Frankly, it was Dick Bertram's race all the way. He had a lot less throttle opening than we did. We had to hurry all the way to keep with him, and it should have been his race. I'm very sorry for him.
But I would say one thing about that finish. If that had to happen, I'm awfully glad that the Gardners were the ones that nipped in, because I think so much of both of them, and their boat's sister ship to ours, and actually we just ran together practically the whole race.
And so, the final scenes. A trophy and £1,000 for Jimmy and Charles Gardner. And for Dick Bertram, a kiss, the Butlin Trophy, £500 and a lot of sincere condolences. But there's always another year and another try to come in the next Powerboat Express.